You've probably heard it 100 times. Renting is just throwing money away, and buying a home is how you finally build wealth. It sounds obvious. It's also one of the most expensive half-truths in personal finance. Because when you actually run the numbers, renting isn't the money pit you've been warned about, and buying isn't the automatic win everyone assumes. The truth is more useful and a lot calmer than the slogan. This is Calm Dollar, where we run the real math on the big money decisions, calmly and without the hype. If clear, unhurried money thinking is your thing, consider subscribing, and let's take apart the most repeated line in the whole rent versus buy debate. Because the goal here isn't to talk you into renting or into buying, it's to show you the honest math. So whichever one you choose it with your eyes open. Let's start with the slogan itself. Rent is throwing money away. The idea is that every rent check just vanishes, while every mortgage payment builds something you own. And there's a grain of truth in it. When you rent, you don't build equity. But here's what the slogan quietly ignores. A huge share of a mortgage payment vanishes too. It just vanishes more quietly. So here's the reframe that changes everything. Stop comparing rent to a mortgage payment. Start comparing the money you never get back on each side. Every housing choice, renting or owning, has costs that build zero wealth, money that leaves and never comes home. Once you see both piles of that money clearly, the whole decision looks different. When you own, that never coming back pile is bigger than most people realize. Start with mortgage interest. In the early years of a loan, the large majority of every payment is pure interest to the bank, not principal you keep. Then add property taxes every year, forever, even after the loan is gone. Add homeowner's insurance. Add maintenance, the leaking roof, the dying water heater, the 1,000 small repairs, which tends to run around 1% of the home's value every single year. And add the one almost nobody counts, the opportunity cost of your down payment, the return that big pile of cash could have earned if it weren't locked in the walls. On top of all that are the costs of simply getting in and out. Buying a home comes with closing costs, often 2 to 5% of the price. Selling comes with agent commissions and fees that can eat another 5, 6, or 7%. Those are enormous one-time hits that renting simply doesn't have. And when the roof leaks in a rental, it's the landlord's problem, not your weekend and a chunk of your savings. None of it builds a single dollar of equity. It's the true price of owning, and it's mostly invisible on the monthly statement. So the real question was never rent versus mortgage. It's the money you burn to rent versus the money you burn to own. And laying that kind of comparison out plainly is exactly what this channel's for. If it's clicking subscribe so the next breakdown finds you. Now let's put a real number on all of it, because there's a surprisingly simple way to do it. Here's a rule of thumb that cuts through the noise. Some people call it the 5% rule. Take the price of a home you'd actually buy and multiply it by 5%. That rough number is the annual unrecoverable cost of owning that home. It bundles the 3 big money you never get back buckets, about 1% a year for property tax, about 1% for maintenance, and about 3% for the cost of tying up your money. Whether that shows up as mortgage interest or as the return your down payment gave up. Divide that yearly figure by 12 and you get a monthly break-even. If you can rent a similar place for less than that, renting is cheaper on pure cost. If renting costs more, owning may have the edge. It's a rule of thumb, not a law, but it reframes the question beautifully. Let's run it. Say the home you want costs $400,000. 5% of that is $20,000 a year, and costs you never get back. Split over 12 months, that's about $1,660 a month. Gone, before a single dollar of equity. Now compare that to renting a similar place. If a comparable home rents for, say, $1,900 a month, then owning is genuinely cheaper on unrecoverable cost, and the case to buy gets stronger. But if that same kind of home rents for, say, $1,400 a month, the renter is burning less every month than the owner is, even though the owner has a mortgage and the renter supposedly has nothing. The renter has something the slogan forgets: the difference, every single month, to put to work elsewhere. And that's the hinge the whole thing turns on. Renting only wins if you actually invest the difference. If the renter in that example takes the few $100s a month they're saving, plus the down payment they never had to lock up, and steadily invests it, that money can grow into real wealth over the same years the owner spends paying down a loan. But if the renter simply spends the gap, then yes, the slogan comes true, and the owner quietly pulls ahead. Owning is forced savings. Renting is optional savings. The house doesn't make you wealthy. The discipline does. Now, someone is already thinking it, but my home will go up in value. And sometimes it does. Yet two things quietly temper that. Over the long run, home prices have tended to roughly track inflation once you strip out the local hype, not shoot to the moon every single year. And the renter's invested difference is growing too, often in assets that have historically grown at least as fast as housing. So appreciation isn't the knockout blow for buying that it feels like. It's one weight on a scale that has real weights on both sides. There's one more piece the math demands, and it's time. Remember those big costs to buy and sell? They mean the first few years of owning are brutally front-loaded with money you never get back. Spread over 2 or 3 years, they're crushing. Spread over 10 or 15, they fade into the background. That's why the honest answer to "should I buy" usually starts with another question: how long will you stay? As a rough guide, if you won't be in the home for at least about 5 years, the transaction costs alone often tip the scales toward renting, no matter how good the monthly numbers look. So here's how to actually use this. First, take a home you would really buy and run the 5% rule on it. That's your true yearly cost of owning, divided by 12 for a monthly figure. Second, find what it actually costs to rent that same kind of home in your area, and compare the two honestly. Third, be brutally honest about your time horizon. Under 5 years, lean toward renting and let the math breathe. And fourth, if you rent, automate investing the difference, or the whole thing falls apart. Renting is only the smart money move if the money you save is genuinely working somewhere. And one calm caveat, because money isn't only math. A home you own is more than a spreadsheet. It's stability, it's roots, it's the freedom to paint a wall without asking anyone. Those things have real value. They're just not financial value, and it's completely fair to pay for them on purpose. The point of all this isn't that renting is always right, or buying is always wrong. It's that you should know exactly what you're paying and what you're getting on each side, instead of being pushed around by a slogan. So let's bring it home. Renting isn't throwing money away. It's paying for flexibility, and often paying less than owning's hidden costs. Buying isn't automatic wealth. It's a bundle of real, unrecoverable expenses wrapped around forced savings. Run the 5% rule, compare it to real rent, respect your time horizon, and if you rent, invest the difference on purpose. Do that, and you honestly can't make the wrong choice, because you'll be choosing with open eyes. If this made a noisy debate feel calm and clear, that's the whole point of Calm Dollar. So tap subscribe before you go. Next up, we look at bonds, the calm half of a portfolio, and why the boring part might be the part that finally lets you sleep at night. And the reminder that always matters most. This is general education, not financial advice. Home prices, rents, mortgage rates, and taxes vary enormously by place and change over time, so run your own numbers. Or talk to a professional you trust. Keep it calm and keep it yours.